So what's so special about the Colors app? What's special about it is that it's based on how we perceive colors. And rather than allowing a user to edit only the pixel colors, that is the RGB or HSV values, the app allows the user to actually edit the colors that they perceive. And those colors depend on the surrounding context. Let's just dive into the app and see what it does, and then we can get into the theoretical foundations. So the user selects a photo, for example, a landscape or portrait photo, and the app immediately and automatically extracts the significant hues from the photo. There's up to 16 hues that get selected for each photo, and the user can choose to either automatically allow the app to make the colors or hues in the photo pop out by pressing this auto tuning button in the navigation bar, or the user can select the palette icon, which automatically produces a palette of all the significant colors in that photo. The user can then tap on an individual color or hue in the palette, and that will be applied to the photo itself. So the user can slowly build up a representation of the colors they'd like to see in the photo by selecting each of these individual paintbrush icons. The user can then also enhance the contrast of each individual hue. So for example, here I've adjusted the indigo of the sky to pop out a little bit more. And finally, the user can deselect a color or reapply the color and adjust its contrast. In this case, I've adjusted the black and white contrast, or the grayscale, so that in addition to the 16 hues, there's a grayscale adjustment as well. Now, let's dive into the theoretical foundations of the Colors app. And to do that, I'll bring up an interesting image that shows quite a nice illusion of color. And that'll distinguish how the app differs from conventional photo editing apps in terms of adjusting hues. So for example here, the front-facing square on the left has identical RGB values to each corresponding front-facing square on the right. Yet we perceive the cube on the left to be white and yellowish, and on the right to be blue and brownish. The same is true of the other complementary squares. For example, here the RGB triplet is 121, 137, 177, and it's identical on the left. Now, as I'll show shortly, a traditional photo editing app can only adjust the RGB colors and don't take into account the context in which the triplet occurs. But that's not true of the Colors app. So let's edit the orange and blue channels and adjust the contrast all the way to the max. Now, I can use my nifty digital color meter on the right here to compare the pixels now. Now we see on the left, the orange square appears much brighter, neon almost orange, and its RGB triplet is 1766819. But that's completely different to the RGB triplet on the brown front-facing square of the blue and brown cube, which has 1365652. So we can see that the pixel values that are identical but appear to us different in different contexts are also adjusted differently by the app. And this is the key significant breakthrough that underlies the Colors app. We can see a similar story for the bluish squares or purplish squares just above. There the triplet is 117, 104, 216 on the right, and 132, 124, 179 on the left. So we can see again that the app has edited the colors that we perceive, that is the blue and white squares, differently. And that's the core of the whole app and why it's such a significant breakthrough in terms of color processing. I don't think that any existing app out there can do anything comparable to what the Colors app can do.